Hello, greetings po. Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. This is your ka-spacer and space commander, Professor Jun Cajigal from the BEDAN Society of Young Astronomers, San Beda University, Manila. And welcome to this online telescope viewing of the first quarter moon. Ayan po, at napakaswerte po natin ngayon. We have clear skies tonight. So today is November 11, 2021. And right now mga ka-spacers, you are viewing on screen our first quarter moon. So we have 50% illumination of our moon tonight. Alright, and as you could see, kitang-kita po yung terminator or terminator line na tuwid. So the terminator or the terminator line is that imaginary line separating the lighted part of the moon from the unlit part of the moon. As you could see, tuwid na tuwid po. And the moon is 50% illuminated. Alright po, so namnamin po natin ang ganda ng first quarter moon tonight. And later, I will be featuring also, I will be pointing my telescope towards Jupiter para makita nyo yung arrangement ng mga Galilean moons tonight, November 11, 2021. Alright, so again po, please like and share this online telescope viewing of the first quarter moon, November 11, 2021, so that we could inspire young minds para makarating po sa mga estudyante to and they would be inspired to love the sciences, especially astronomy. Right po, so ito po yung ating first quarter moon tonight, and in a few minutes we will magnify the image of our moon tonight. Alright, so yan po, nanamin po natin ang ganda ng first quarter moon. Okay, so today is November 11 po, 2021, and time check, it's 7:47 in the evening. Alright, and nakikita niyo po mga ka-spacers, tuwid na tuwid po yung terminator line or terminator. So the terminator or the terminal line is that imaginary line separating the lighted part of the moon from the unlit part. And as you could see, tuwid na tuwid po yung ating terminator. That shows that the moon is 50% illuminated. Okay, and you could see those dark patches. Those dark patches again are lunar plains, mga patag po yan ng buwan. And the bright areas of the moon are lunar highlands and impact craters. Okay, so ayan po ang ating first quarter moon tonight, November 11, 2021. Okay, so shout out muna tayo sa mga officers and crew of the BEDAN Society of Young Astronomers. Yan, busy sila sa pagko-complete ng mga requirements because patapos na rin ang first quarter. And shout out din sa mga students ko sa PLM. Yan. And nagmi-midterms din sila ngayon sa mga estudyante ko sa General Physiology and yung mga students ko sa ENVI, Environmental Science. Okay, so ayan po, this is our first quarter moon tonight, and in a few minutes we will magnify the image of our first quarter moon. So ang ginamit ko pong telescope dito ay refractor. Ayan, medyo I want to get used to the refracting telescope. A refracting telescope uses lenses to produce a magnified image of the distant object. Kasi mga ka-spacers, sanay na sanay kasi ako sa reflector. A reflecting telescope uses mirrors. Ayan po, ito na po yung ating magnified image of the moon. And nakikita niyo po ulit yung tatlo na yan, yung tatlong craters na yan na finiture ko before, yung ating last telescope viewing. And again, those dark areas are lunar plains. Mga patag po yun ng buwan, and early sailors called them Marias or seas kasi akala nila yung mga dark areas na yan ay bodies of water. And yan, nakitang-kita yung dalawang craters na yan. Nakita pa yung shadow sa loob. Fascinating indeed. Ayan po yung mga patag yan called mares or seas. Kasi akala ng mga early sailors, those are bodies of water. And ayan po yung tatlong craters po ulit. Ayan yung ating feature in our last online telescope viewing. Ayan. So isn't that fascinating mga ka-spacers? And ang linaw-linaw ng aking refracting telescope. Ako'y nagagalak. Kaya lang may bluish tinge dun sa edge. And mukhang may chromatic aberration yung aking telescope. But anyway, ganyan talaga, ay a refracting telescope really suffers from chromatic aberration unless yung telescope is equipped with chromatic lenses. Parang yung sa akin wala. But anyway, ay malinaw naman po, and I'm very satisfied with the image that is produced by my telescope. Ayan, so very sharp naman po yung image niya. Alright, so if you're fascinated, if you're amazed by our lunar image tonight, please feel free to type in your comments, your reactions, or even questions in our comment section below. Or kung gusto niyo magpa-shoutout, just type in your name and your location para alam po natin kung hanggang saan po nakakaabot yung ating live stream tonight. And kitang-kita po yung bluish tinge dun sa edge ng ating lunar image. So yun ang talagang chromatic aberration po. Ayan, so ganyan po talaga ang mga refractors. Unless po yung refractor ay may mga chromatic lenses to minimize chromatic aberration. But at any rate po, okay naman po yung image. I'm satisfied with it. And kitang-kita po yung mga craters. Very sharp po yung image ng mga craters na yan. At laging gustong-gusto ko talaga. Pag nakikita ko yan, parang nare-relax po ko. Parang gumagaan ang aking dibdib. Yan na naman po yung tatlong craters na yan na magkakadikit. Kitang-kita pa yan. Alright, so that's our first quarter moon tonight. Ito si Mr. Renz Guyver Calianta. Magandang gabi sa iyo. And ayan, mukhang si Mr. Renz Calianta po ay parang may video po na ipapalabas ng DepEd. So tangkilikin po natin yung kanyang video na ipalalabas sa DepEd. Okay. So ayan po yung ating magnified image of the moon. And later po, ima-magnify natin ulit dun sa mga na-miss yung magnified image kanina. Right, so again, shout out po kay Mr. Renz Guyver Calianta. Ayan, and again po mga ka-spacers, tangkilikin po natin yung kanyang video na I think it will be featured by DepEd. Hindi ko lang alam kung kailan, pero good luck sa iyo Mr. Renz Calianta, and keep it up. And shout out din kay Miss Julene Rose Pelinya, watching daw from Cavite. And by the way po mga ka-spacers, si Miss Julene Rose Pelinya ay member pala ng Cavite Skywatcher Society. Si Miss Julene po ay isang astronomy enthusiast, and tangkilikin po natin yung kanyang mga lunar images, yung mga kinukuha niya na mga astronomical objects through her telescope. Ayan po, and lahat po ng mga astronomy enthusiasts, tangkilikin po natin sila. Ayan po, maraming salamat po Miss Julene Rose Pelinya all the way from Cavite. Ayan, so halos magkapit-bahay lang po tayo Miss Julene, dahil I am streaming live from Las Piñas. Okay. So ayan po. And shout out din kay Mr. Dudes Pereira. Siyang founder ng BEDAN Society of Young Astronomers Alabang. Okay, so teacher po siya sa San Beda College, Alabang. Okay, so that's our first quarter moon. You are viewing on screen mga ka-spacers, the first quarter moon tonight, November 11, 2021. Alright, so pag first quarter, the moon is 50% illuminated, and as you could see, the terminal line or terminator is really straight. And again, mga ka-spacers, when we speak of the terminal line or terminator, that's the imaginary line separating the lighted part of the moon from the unlit part. So nakikita nyo po sa ating screen ay talagang tuwid na tuwid yung terminator. And may mga dark patches na nakikita nyo in our lunar image. Those dark patches are actually lunar plains, mga patag po yan ng buwan. And the bright areas in our lunar image are lunar highlands and impact craters. Ayan po. At ako'y nagagalak sa image na ito kasi gumagamit po ako ng refracting telescope. Yung aking Vixen 70 millimeter objective lens. Ayan po. And hindi ko pa sure kung may achromatic lens po siya na equip, pero may may konting chromatic aberration siya. May bluish tinge dun sa edge ng ating lunar image. Pero okay lang po yan. Still, the image is sharp and I am very satisfied with it. Okay, eto na naman po. Meron tayong isa pang ka-spacer that joined us tonight, si Miss Marites Sotelo po. So magandang gabi po, and sana po Miss Sotelo, kayo po ay nagagalak at nare-relax sa ating first quarter moon tonight. And napaka-clear po ang skies ngayong gabi. Unlike kahapon po, talagang gusto ko talagang makita yung lunar X and lunar V. Pero sayang, maulap. Ganyan po talaga ang astronomy. We are at the mercy of the clouds and weather. Okay, and later in a few minutes imamagnify po ulit natin ang image ng buwan. And also, I'll be featuring in this online telescope viewing tonight Jupiter, para at least makita nyo yung arrangement ng mga Galilean moons. Alright, so ayan, as always daw, yan, maraming salamat po Ma'am Marites, yan, ka-spacer na po kayo. Alright, and gusto ko pong i-shoutout din ang mga members ng Philippine Astronomical Society, ang chairman of the board, ayan, he's a friend of mine, si Mr. Camilo Dacanay. Ayan, and gusto ko din pong i-shoutout si Mr. Hernandizon. Yan. Hello, Sir Hernan. So sana nasa mabuti kang kalagayan, and si Sir Camilo Dacanay. Alright, and i-shoutout ko din yung mga members ng Manila Street Astronomers. Yan, member din po ako dyan. And si Mr. Dudes Pereira from San Beda College, Alabang. Alright, and again po, shout out sa mga nag-comment po ngayong gabi sa ating online telescope viewing, si Mr. Renz Calianta, si Miss Julene Rose Pelinia, member po siya ng Cavite Skywatcher Society, I think. So marami pong salamat Ma'am Julene for watching and commenting po sa ating online telescope viewing. And shout out din kay Miss Marites Sotelo. And shout out kay Mr. Leonardo Acosta. Ayan. And si Miss Consuelo Embudo, yan, Ma'am Consuelo. Thank you po for watching our live stream tonight of the first quarter moon, November 11, 2021. Okay, so sana po satisfied kayo at masaya kayo sa ating lunar image tonight. And yan po, itong ginagawa po natin ay nakakapagbigay po ng relaxation, lalong-lalo na sa mga moon lovers natin dyan. Okay? Yan, kasi maganda tong first quarter, and kasi pag first quarter moon, marami tayong makikitang craters. Yan, crescent phase, itong first quarter hanggang gibbous, yan, marami tayong makikitang craters dyan. Yan, except full moon, kasi pag full moon masyadong bright po yung ating image and hindi masyadong maganda yung mga craters pag full moon. Alright, so ito po, we are now viewing on screen the magnified image of the moon. And ayan po, fascinating indeed. Wow, So if you think you're fascinated by what you're seeing right now, just comment down below po mga ka-spacers. Ayan po yung dalawang malaking craters na yan. Kita pa yung shadow sa loob. Ay naku, ako po yung nagagalak at very sharp yung ating lunar image. Ayan po talagang pangarap ko nung bata ako. Talagang gusto kong pumunta sa buwan. Nung bata po ako umaakyat pa ako sa bubong ng bahay at doon ko kukunin yung daladala ko po yung unan ko saka yung banig. At doon ako natutulog sa bubong, nakasilip lang po sa buwan. Wala akong telescope noon. Nung nagkatrabaho lang po saka ako nakabili ng telescope. Pero ayan po. Ganda po ng ating buwan ngayon with the telescope. Alright, and also kahit walang telescope, makikita nyo din po yung Jupiter saka yung buwan. So yan po yung tinatawag natin na conjunction din. Okay, the moon is close to Jupiter in our perspective here on Earth. Okay, and kung wala po kayong telescope, sumilip lang kayo mamaya sa kalawakan kung wala pang ulap, and makikita niyo po yung mga planeta na medyo aligned like Venus, Saturn, yung buwan, and Jupiter. Okay, so ayan po yung ating magnified image of the moon, and gumagamit po ako dito ng isang refracting telescope. So siya po ay 70mm Vixen refractor. Alright, so ito po. Ang refractor po uses lenses to produce a magnified image. Kaya lang, if you have noticed, merong bluish tinge dun sa edge ng ating lunar image. Ayan po, nakikita niyo po yung tatlong craters na yan na feature natin in our last online telescope viewing. Okay, so if you're fascinated and if you have questions or comments or pa-shout out, just feel free to type in your comments or your questions or your pa-shout outs in our comment section below. Alright, ayan si Mr. Van Relax Navarro Gante. Yan, good evening sir daw from Space Heads. Ayan po, tangkilik isang grupo po yan ng mga astronomy enthusiasts, yung tinatawag nilang Space Heads. Ayan, so maraming pong salamat Mr. Van Relax Navarro Gante all the way from their group called Space Heads. Ayan po. Okay, and shout out din kay Miss Consuelo Embudo and kay Mr. Renz Calianta and kay Mr. Leonardo Acosta. Ayan, maraming salamat po and sa mga nanonood po ngayon. Okay, we are live here in Las Piñas. Ayan, and you're viewing the first quarter moon online telescope viewing of the first quarter moon, November 11, 2021. Right, time check. It's 8:03 in the evening po. So please like and share this online telescope viewing so that we could reach more students. We could reach more people so that they would be inspired to love the sciences, especially astronomy, and para ma-relax din po sila. Kasi po diba pag tinitingnan po natin ang buwan, talagang nakakapagbigay po siya ng relaxation. Ayan, for our mental health, ika nga. Okay, ayan po yung ating first quarter moon. Alright, so please like and share po. And para makaabot sa mga estudyante natin. Yan, yun ang advocacy namin dito sa BEDAN Society of Young Astronomers. So we would bring the telescope to you, mga ka-spacers. We would like to bring the telescope to you. Kasi po talagang aminin natin, nasa pandemya pa tayo, even though nasa alert level 2 pa rin tayo, may pandemya, nandiyan pa rin po yung COVID-19 virus. So iingat pa ho yung ating gagawin and sana po pag nasa new normal na talaga tayo, we can conduct a face-to-face public telescope viewing. Pero sa ngayon, ito na lang muna yung ating magagawa. So mag-online telescope viewing muna tayo until na such time na maging safe na po ang ating face-to-face online telescope viewing. Yun ang ginagawa po namin noon. Nung pre-COVID, we usually go to malls like Robinsons, SM South Mall dito sa Las Piñas, sa Luneta Park. Ayan po. And ayan, miss na miss ko na talaga yung Luneta. And dun sa kartilya ng Katipunan kay Mayor Isko Moreno. Ayan. Pinapayagan po niya kami na mag-conduct ng online telescope viewing sa kartilya ng Katipunan. Alright, so miss na miss ko na talaga po yan pero wala ho tayong magagawa. So that's why we're having this online telescope viewing at least para makita po ninyo ang ganda ng mga heavenly bodies like the moon and the planets. Okay po. So sa mga nanonood po ngayon, maraming salamat po. Thank you po at sinamahan niyo po ako ngayong gabi. Time check, it's 8:05 in the evening. Okay, so maraming salamat po and siguro i-flex ko muna po ang kasalo nasa Glorieta, Makati. Ayan, so punta kayo doon, tikman niyo po yung cheesecake ng kasalo sa Glorieta branch at napakasarap po ng kanilang cheesecake doon. Right, ang owner po ay si Miss Barbie Sia. Okay, so yan, flex po natin yung kasalo Glorieta branch. Yan, care of Miss Barbie Sia. Yan, punta kayo doon mga ka-spacers para matikman niyo po yung kanilang cheesecake. Alright, so again, thank you Mr. Van Rex Navarro Gante, Maria Consuelo Embudo, Mr. Leonardo Acosta, maraming salamat kay Miss Marites Sotelo, kay Miss Julin Rose Pelinya, and kay Mr. Renz Guyver Calianta. And sa mga nanonood po ngayon, maraming salamat and you are now viewing on screen the first quarter moon. 50% illumination. Today is November 11, 2021. Yan, 11/11. Parang sa Lazada po, no? And Shopee, 11/11. Right, and shout out sa mga officers and crew of the BEDAN Society of Young Astronomers at busy sila. Shout out din po kay Mr. Armando Lee. Yan, nagko-comment din siya. Minsan nagla-like po sa mga photos ko ng buwan. Maraming salamat po. And again, shout out kay Mr. Dudes Perea ng BEDAN Society of Young Astronomers, Alabang. Okay, so later in a few minutes, we will be magnifying the image of the moon. And tangkilikin po natin ang mga astronomy enthusiasts na nagaganito din po. Especially itong grupo na ito called Space Heads. Ayan, so tangkilikin po natin yung kanilang mga astronomy activities. Yan, lalo na pag they take pictures of the moon, yung mga planet. So yan, tangkilikin po natin. So yung kalilimutan po mga ka-spacers, Space Heads. Yan, and yan, thank you daw po Prof Jun, God bless, and maraming salamat po Miss Consuelo. Yan, and yan, ingat din po. Okay. I think si Ma'am Consuelo ay astronomy enthusiast din, no? Alright. So, you are now viewing on screen again the first quarter moon. Ayan, at natsambahan po natin siya na na clear ang skies. Unlike po kagabi. Talagang I'm so disappointed kagabi kasi ang ulap, and gusto ko talaga sanang makunan yung lunar X sana and lunar V. Alright, anyway, ganyan talaga. Alin na yung astronomy. We are at the mercy of the clouds. Okay. So again po mga ka-spacers, don't forget to like and share this online telescope viewing so that we could reach more people, we could reach more students para ma-inspire naman sila to love astronomy. Or even yung mga sciences po, kasi talagang kailangan po natin ngayon ang mga scientists, yan, mga doctors, mga nurses, yan. Kailangan natin ang mga scientists ngayong panahon ng pandemya. Okay, so ayan po, we are now magnifying the image of the moon again. Yan, so fascinating indeed. Yan, medyo shaky lang yung aking tripod. Kasi hindi siya equatorial mount, ano lang siya, altazimut, meaning up and down po yung ano niya, movement. And medyo shaky lang. Halatang hindi sanay. Okay, masanay ako sa equatorial. Right, anyway, ayan po. Okay, you can see those craters. So, very sharp po yung image ng aking refractor. Ayan, kitang-kita po yung mga craters. So, fascinating indeed. And yung dark areas na yan, those are lunar plains. Alright. Ayan, so nakikita niyo po yung mga craters na yan. And yung mga bright areas na yan, those are lunar highlands and the impact craters. And this is live from Las Piñas, mga ka-spacers. Yan, very clear po ang skies dito sa Las Piñas. Okay, ayan po. If you think you're fascinated and kung kayo ay talagang namamangha sa ating lunar image, tong ating magnified image of the moon, just comment down below po. I would like to know your reactions. Ayan. And thank you po sa BEDAN Society. Ayan, first ever winning telescope ng school namin. Okay po. Ano po ma'am sa TED, nakabili po kayo ng telescope para sa school nyo? Ayan po. So, ito, share nyo po itong ating online telescope viewing sa mga estudyante po ninyo, Ma'am Marites. Ayan, para ma-fascinate din po sila. Magagamit niyo po ito sa inyong teaching of science. Okay, maraming salamat po, Ma'am Marites. Thank you po. Okay, so ayan po yung ating magnified image of the moon. Ayan po, yun yung tatlong craters ulit. Ayan yung ating finiture in our last telescope viewing. Alright, so any moment now, I'll be pointing my telescope towards Jupiter and its Galilean moons. Ayan, so sana nagustuhan niyo po itong ating lunar image tonight. This is the first quarter moon, November 11, 2021. Wow, so fascinating indeed. Opo, hindi po ako nagsasawang, ilang beses ko na ho yan nakita. Talagang hindi po ako nagsasawang tumingin sa buwan yan. Okay. So, sana nagustuhan niyo po yan. Yan, some infos pa po about the moon. Sige po, Sir Leonardo Acosta. Yung soil ng moon, lalo na dun sa dark, yung mga dark patches na yun, sa mga lunar plains, are made of regolith. Yan, regolith po yan. Parang ano yan, fine soft soil. In fact po, di ba yung inapakan po ng Apollo astronauts, medyo lumubog yung kanilang boots. Pero yan, kaya nagkaroon sila ng mga gagandang footprints sa lunar surface. Yan, yung soil po ng moon is called regolith. Okay, and siguro pag full moon, I'll try to pinpoint some of the Apollo landing sites. Yan, para maganda. Yan. Pero yung lunar soil po is regolith. Kaya maganda po yung mga footprints ng mga Apollo astronauts kasi medyo fine, powdery po ang regolith. Okay, so ayan po. I am now pointing my telescope towards Jupiter with its Galilean moons. Yan. So yung white disk na yan, the white disk, that's Jupiter. And kaya lang may chromatic aberration tong aking telescope kasi may bluish tinge. Ayan, bluish coloration dun sa edge ng disk ng Jupiter. Pero anyway, okay lang yan. This is the sharpest image that I could get to my telescope. Right, anyway, yung white disk na yan, that's Jupiter. Then may makikita kayong parang mga stars, naka-align. Those are the Galilean moons. Okay, so we have Europa, Io, Ganymede, and Callisto. So Ayan po yung ating arrangement ng mga Galilean moons tonight, November 11. Okay, so yun po yung apat na Galilean moons. So you have Europa, Io, Ganymede, and Callisto. And lagi kong sinasabi ito with regards to Europa. Europa is a very interesting Galilean moon. And as discovered by Voyager, Europa is covered with ice. Yan, water ice po as discovered by Voyager. And may mga streaks or striations sa ice niya indicating tidal forces between Europa and Jupiter. Kaya nagkakak po yung ice. And many astronomers believe that beneath that icy sheet of Europa is liquid water. Parang dito po sa Earth, di ba? May solid ice pero sa ilalim nun is liquid water. And many astronomers believe that it's the same for Europa. If you have a solid surface on Europa, then probably beneath that icy surface is liquid water. And we know that if there is water, then most probably there is microbial life. That's why Europa is a pretty good candidate for the existence of life outside planet Earth. And I think NASA is planning a unmanned mission to Europa. So ang plano dyan sa Europa, they will send a robotic probe. Then the robotic probe will drill a hole. Magagawa sila ng butas dun sa icy solid sheet until ma-penetrate nila yung liquid part. Once they penetrated the solid icy sheet of Europa, then they will send a robotic submarine. Yan, yun ang plano. Alright, so let's hope na matuloy yung mission na yan to Europa. Alright, then we have that white disk, Jupiter. Then we have another interesting moon called Io. Yan. And we know Io is one of the most geologically active objects in the solar system with more than 400 active volcanoes as discovered by Voyager. And so Io, maraming mga volcanoes. In fact, talagang pumuputok pa. May nakita silang plumes of sulfur gas na nag-eject dun sa Io as seen by Voyager. Alright, so that's Io, one of the geologically active objects in the solar system with more than 400 active volcanoes. Then we have Ganymede. Ganymede is the largest moon, not only in Jupiter, but it's the largest moon in the solar system. Mas malaki pa ho yan kaysa sa Mercury. And as discovered by Voyager, Ganymede is heavily cratered moon of Jupiter. And we have Callisto. Yan, just like Ganymede, Callisto also is heavily cratered. Right, so those are the 4 Galilean moons. And ito po yung arrangement ng mga Galilean moons tonight, November 11, 2021. And kung walang telescope po, if you will look at the night sky tonight, medyo malapit po yung buwan sa Jupiter. Yan, katabi ng buwan, yung may parang bright star doon sa bandang taas niya, that's Jupiter. And Saturn din. Magkakatabi yan. Jupiter, then the moon, then Saturn, then nasa baba na is Venus. Alright, so sana may natutunan po kayo at sana may napulot po kayo sa aking kwento about Jupiter. Alright, so siguro yan si Mr. Leonard Acosta siguro in our next online telescope viewing, sige, I will provide more information about the moon. And siguro bago mag full moon, ayan, and mag-ano tayo, I will be pointing some of the Apollo landing sites. Ayan. Para makita natin. Pero hindi natin makikita po yung bandera ng mga ng Apollo doon. Hindi yung American flag, imposible po yun, hindi natin makikita yun. Yung yung pinpointing the landing sites lang po yung gagawin natin. Pero hindi natin makikita yung descent stage ng Apollo spacecraft or even yung American flag na tinayo po nila, hindi. Masyado pong maliit yan. Yung telescope natin hindi naman ganun kalakas. Okay. Ayan po. So again, marami pong salamat sa comment niyo, Sir Leonardo Acosta. And siguro bago tayo matapos, another info about the moon. Sige, kasi para mapagbigyan po natin si Mr. Acosta. Kung napansin niyo po, we only see one side of the moon dito. O yun na lang po yung side na nakikita natin. Okay, that's because of what we call synchronous rotation. The moon is in a tidal lock with the earth. So yung kanyang rotation is the same as its revolution around the earth. So yun ang tinatawag natin na synchronous rotation. The moon is in a tidal lock or is in a synchronous rotation with the earth. Kaya we only see one side of the moon. Right, so isn't that fascinating mga ka-spacers, no? Alright, and ayan, si Miss Rochelle Lim. Wow, good PM watching from Santa Lucia High School with Ma'am. Okay. Taga Santa Lucia High School pala si Ma'am Marites. Okay, maraming salamat po Miss Rochelle Lim. And sana satisfied kayo sa pinagsasabi ko. And sana satisfied kayo sa ating lunar image kanina. And sa ating image ng Jupiter with its Galilean moons. Okay, yan. Thank you, Prof. I learned new ideas. Very interesting po. Maraming pong salamat, Mr. Leonardo Acosta. And promise po, siguro in our next online telescope viewing bago mag full moon, and we will pinpoint some of the possible landing sites of Apollo. And we will be featuring also in our future online telescope viewing yung Montes Apeninos Mountain Range. Ayan, ang tabayanan po natin. Napakaganda po niya pag clear po yung sky bukas or sa susunod na araw. Yan, we will be featuring Montes Apeninos and yung Copernicus Crater and yung Tycho Crater. Yan, so yun din po yung hinihintay ko. Especially pag clear skies ulit bukas and sa mga susunod na araw. Okay po, so I guess that's about it for tonight. And marami pong salamat sa mga estudyante ngayon. May pasok pa ho kayo bukas. And yan, tapusin nyo lang yung inyong kailangan gawin for your online class tomorrow. Okay, so marami pong salamat at sinamahan nyo po ako ngayong gabi. And sana hindi kayo magsawa po sa akin sa aking ginagawa na ito na online telescope viewing. Dahil gusto ko lang pong dalhin ang telescope sa inyo po. We would like to bring the telescope to you, mga ka-spacers natin dyan. Okay, shout out kay Miss Cecil Zorilia Vaginal. Yan, naku, maraming salamat ma'am. Thank you po for watching our live stream of the first quarter moon tonight. Right, so siguro again, bago tayo magtapos, again, maraming pong salamat Miss Cecil Zorilia Vaginal, Mr. Leonard Acosta, Miss Rochelle Lim, Miss Consuelo Embudo, Miss Sotelo, Miss Marita Sotelo. Marami pong salamat ma'am. Sana hindi po kayo magsawa po sa panonood. Kay Mr. Renz Guyver Calianta, kay Mr. Van Relax Navarro Gante, and kay Miss Julian Rose Pelinya. Okay po, and sa mga nanonood po ngayon, maraming salamat. Okay, so dito na po nagtatapos ang ating online telescope viewing, and again, you are watching Jupiter with its Galilean moons. And kanina po, I pointed my telescope at the first quarter moon. Okay, and again po, please like and share this online telescope viewing so that we could reach more people, we could reach more students out there to love the sciences, especially astronomy. Alright, so this is your ka-spacer and space commander, Professor Jun Cajigal from the BEDAN Society of Young Astronomers, live here from Las Piñas, greeting everybody, live long and prosper. Alright, so good night everybody. Maraming salamat po sa mga nanood ngayon at mga nag-comment. And always stay safe. Always wear your face mask and face shield. Hindi pa po tapos ang pandemya. Mag-iingat po tayong lahat. Alright po, goodbye and see you in our next online telescope viewing. Goodbye everybody!